Now let me move to the main part of the presentation. I will be showing some examples of the variant readings and orthography attested in the manuscripts. As a reference work for the variant readings, I used the Mu'jam al-Qira'at al-Qur'aniyya from 1888, which has 8 volumes. You can see the cover here. And the first I want to show the writing of the word Quran. This is a very puzzling case in the manuscripts. The manuscripts write no alif after the ra. If it's so here, if the word is in the indefinite form of the direct case Qur'anan, the alif is not added later, as in the most cases, for example, in the Tübingen manuscript, which is a Hijazi manuscript, or B1a. As for the definite form, Al-Quran, it is written with alif, as you can see it in this picture. But the Tübingen manuscript, for example, shows that on one page we have both forms, one with without alif and the other one with alif, but probably this is a later edition. Then as I said, I attested 2 writings of Qur'anan in the manuscripts, and both were without alif. It was Surah 41, verse 3, and 42, verse 7. Then I looked for variant readings of this word without Hamza, and I found the reading from Ibn Kathir, which you can see here. Still, the alif is not omitted as in the manuscripts. It could be that the manuscript didn't write Hamza and omitted the alif as the indication for the long vowel. The second category of variant readings regard the verb forms, and especially in second person plural versus a third person in plural. First example we can see here is the word yu'minuna, which is the Hafs reading, and yakfuruna also. And in the manuscript from St. Petersburg, they are both, we have the reading tu'minuna and tukfiruna. And here you can see that it's also attested in 2 variant readings. So as for the tukfiruna, I can still see dashes above. I don't know if you can see it here on the picture. So it's the same case. Which one was the original? It's difficult to say. The third category is this is the same category. The other example with taqilun and la yundiru and la tunziru. Yes, I think I made a mistake here. It should be li tunzira. Yeah. We have also variations between first person in plural and the third person singular. And in this case, we have 2 readings. Instead of yahshuruhum, yaqulu, nahshuruhum, naqulu. And there are many attestation in variant readings for this form. And this is the same. This is the other case. It's vice versa with the case that the first person was switched with the third person singular. So now I will move to the orthography. I also I have collected all the variants in orthography for the which are attested in the manuscripts, and here you can see again the Paleo Quran website, and these are, the list goes very long. I just couldn't put it in one screenshot. So you can browse the list and you can look for different orthography variants. Here you have the Hafs and here you have the manuscript spelling. Yes, I think I'm a little bit with the time. Yeah, I will just show you this example as the main example with the scriptio defectiva or plena in the early Quran manuscripts is the word qala or qalu. And here you can see on the right hand that the manuscripts normally write, actually in all cases, write it with alif. And on the right, on the left side, you see the manuscript from London, which is Hijazi or Tübingen, and they, in most of the cases, write it without. So, yeah, this is this example. And the second category was about the writing of Hamza. So the Hamza is actually, which represents a glottal stop in the manuscripts. It has normally no indication. However, there are some cases which I will demonstrate later, shortly. So instead of Hamza, we normally have the letter Ya. So the letter is indicated with 2 dashes below, like in La'ina or Ula'ika. Other examples are also Mala'ika, Sayyi'a, Ji'ta, Ji'tu, and so on. But as I said, there are But as I said, there are some cases which are yeah, this is another example of the writing bi-ayatina, which is also very, or bi-ayatim, which is also very common in the early Quranic manuscripts. The plural of ayat shows a peculiarity when it is preceded with the prefix bi. So in contrast with the plural ayat, which is written, you can see it here. No, I don't have. So without b, without prefix b, it is always written alif, identical for ya, and the final ta. But if it's preceded with b, it is written with two, with two denticles. So the same writing is attested also in Tübingen very often. Yes. And another interesting example is the writing of Shay. So in Hijazi or early Quran manuscripts, there are many cases where you can have the writing with alif, which is not in the Hafs text. We don't have this writing, but here in the manuscripts normally we have. Normally we have this writing with Shin and Ya, but here I found an example where we had the Alif and it was erased later. But the interesting case is that in Hafs we also have Alif li Shai in. So it seems that the corrector or the scribe just wanted to adopt or wanted to adjust the spelling to the standards of the manuscripts of the Codex. Yes, these are some other interesting cases of writing Hamza or of not writing Hamza, but I'm not going to go into details. And finally, I wanted to show you the example of writing of the name Dawood. So there are two examples of this name in the manuscripts, and in both cases the word is written with dal, waw, alif, dal, instead of dal, alif, waw, dal, like in the reading of Hafs. So in both cases the word was modified, as you can see here you can see the waw and alif, and here also. And the same writing is also in, for example, in Tübingen manuscript, or in E20 St. Petersburg, or also in a London manuscript. So one can speculate about the pronunciation of this writing. It could have been spoken as du'at or da'ud, maybe. In the first variant, the waw could stand for the vowel u, and the alif for the glottal stop. In the second version, the waw could be interpreted as the long vowel a, which goes back to a rather infrequent spelling of media a with waw in the Aramaic orthography as well as in the Nabatean writing. Yes. Now I will come to conclusion. As we could see in the examples, the early Quran manuscripts, the spelling of the early Quran manuscripts is so long vowels and hamza is affected mostly, and already in the Aramaic orthography and in the pre-Islamic inscriptions we have the defective writing of long vowel am. In the Codex presented today, we have some archaic spellings such as the word Quran or the name Dawood, or as well Bi'ayat, and other writings of Hamza, whereas there are very consistent and persuasive cases of orthography that is attested in early manuscripts. On the other hand, we have also a lot of writing like in scriptio plena, like Qala. Yes, I forgot to mention Adab and Ibad is also normally written with alif, which is not characteristic, for example, for Hijazi manuscripts. So with the help of early Quran manuscripts, we cannot get the whole image of the Arabic orthography in the first centuries of Islam, but we can contribute to the better understanding of the orthographic norms of that time. So that was all for today. Thank you.